So let us check whales ratio 30 days moving average. I mean, we did a big step since yesterday. As you can see here, let me use my wonderful Epic pen. So we dumped very hard to the downside. I was expecting a little bit this move, indicating that the whole preparation they did here is now almost done. We will see if that's it, because we are receiving or we have noticed big flow activity related to spot, but also to derivative, something that always happened close before a big step, a big action happened. It doesn't matter if it was bullish or bearish, but always happened something. As you can see that the whales ratio daily is declining. It bounced here once again almost at 40. It's now at 46. So the Bitcoin activity hitting spot exchanges is lifting up again, but the big one here, for example, in here where we had even 79 or 72%, that was really huge. It's done. Now we need to see what's going to happen next. If we are going to go up or down. At the moment, it's even for me, not even really clear. So I have started to hedge again in case of. I have mentioned yesterday we should go up to retest that area and then we could go down again and so on and so forth, because that's what we are doing at the moment. I don't see big accumulations, so then it just means that they are still distributing. And we will check, because that matches very well to what we have noticed just in the last few days related to CBDs. If we check the whales ratio 30 hours moving average and even the 1 hour time frame, it's hitting a very critical level. Everything above of 90 had a big impact to the price action. Usually it wasn't bullish. And now we are even at 92, and we had just few times. I mean, that happens in the last few months, but only because we had also big price or sharp price moves. And, it lifted up very hard to 92, and 92 is a critical level. Usually it indicates they are sending more Bitcoins as a preparation afterwards to dump or even nuke. Every time when we had a level of 92 or even above of 90, but 92 is very accurate because that didn't happen very often. And every time it had a big impact to the price action to the downside. The big question at the same time I'm expecting to push up, the question is, are we going to make a pump dump or a dump pump? I really don't know. That's something, it's not written, unfortunately. The whales ratio 30 hours moving average, as mentioned, very high. We can also see here it matches very well to the 1 hour. If we check the stablecoin supply, it lifted up a little bit. Also here, that here looks for me organic. So it means people are minting again some stablecoins. That's also interesting. We can see that even the stablecoin reserves on exchanges lifted up. It's declining again, but usually when that happens, means that exchanges are expecting a bigger demand for stablecoins. Well, the question is, why a bigger demand? Or let us check what kind of scenarios could happen so that they are expecting a bigger demand. Usually, you go to Binance, you sell your assets, and you are getting what? Yeah, right. Stablecoins. So means it could, even that's not really big, and I try to be very careful now with my wording, but it could be that they are expecting a sell-off, and that's why they are refilling their stablecoin reserves. So stablecoin supply lifting up, even here it's not big at all. I mean, we are talking about 250 millions, but 250 millions, you can buy some bitcoins with that, right? And even here, the stablecoin reserves on exchanges lifting up, even if it's declining right now, but we should have that in mind. Let us go forward. So that's what I have tweeted today about what's happening to the spot activity. Because one thing that's really absolutely not bearish at all is, for example, those two here. That means spot outflow from spot exchanges. So Bitcoin outflows from spot exchanges means they just bought Bitcoin. That's not bearish at all. We are not talking about few hundreds. I mean, 1,500, that was yesterday, by the way. 1,500 bitcoins here, another 6,300 bitcoins here. So almost 8,000 bitcoins. If we check today, 2,500 bitcoins here and another 5,800 bitcoins here. So we are talking here almost about 9,000 bitcoins if we check even those 500 and we add to them. So almost 9,000 bitcoins. We are talking about almost 16,000 bitcoins in 2 days. That's really, I mean, wow, that's not bad at all. But at the same time, we received here 2,300 bitcoins, here another 1,400 or 350, another 400. Okay, we are talking here about 3,500 bitcoins. Then, just in the last 2 hours, we received almost 5,000, almost 6,000 bitcoins. And that was after the outflow. If we check the stablecoins, it correlates as usual. So it seems someone sent, wow, that was big. Or not? Wait. Oh no, I thought it was 646 millions, but it wasn't, unfortunately. No, it was 64 millions. While at the same time, an hour later, we can see here 60 millions outflow. So it correlates very well. Someone sent stablecoins to buy, and then those who sold bitcoins, they just withdrew stablecoins again. Well, they sold something. We don't know if it was Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any kind of crypto tokens. So that's it. So let us see what's happening to the future market. First of all, funding rate. We remember lift up, decline, lift up, declined a little bit, and it's lifting up again. So, I mean, the trend is bullish, at least on funding rate, because they are demanding more longs than shorts. But that's something that's not surprising us, right? The open interest lifted up, declined, lifted up, declined, lifted up a little bit, declined, lifted up a little bit, declined even more. So the open interest is declining very hard, really very hard. And something similar is also doing the leverage ratio, because the leverage ratio lifted up, declined a bit, lifted up a little bit, then declined. And that's what we can see at the moment. So the good thing here is that open interest and leverage ratio both declined a lot. That's something, of course, also because of the recent volatility, but that's something where I would say it gives us a little bit to prepare ourselves for the next coming price action. If we check here, we can see that also even related to stablecoins and derivative exchanges, we don't see any big inflows or even outflows. That was yesterday, for example, almost 200 million inflows, while the price was dumping hard, I guess, just too long afterwards. But, and that's the bigger thing here is what's happening to Bitcoin and derivative exchanges, because we have received huge amount. I mean, just yesterday, in almost 1, 2, and 3 hours, within 3 hours, we have received almost 17,000 Bitcoins. 17,000. I mean, we had an outflow of 11,000 Bitcoins here. So that was a very quick, big shot, I would say. If we take a look for today, we have received in 2 hours almost 13,000 Bitcoin. And here, an hour later, they did that again. We have received, they had an outflow of 6,640 Bitcoins. While the candle was relatively bearish because it declined. So something is happening here, but you know, I'm straight. When I'm wrong, I tell you I'm wrong. I don't have any clue what's going to happen next. Just really, to be honest, because we received a lot of Bitcoins, but they withdraw a lot of Bitcoins. So it seems that the buy mood, or even the price, is attracting buyers. At the same time, otherwise we wouldn't see such kind of volume in outflows as well. I mean, of course, maybe it's internally exchanged. I don't know. Didn't check that. But I didn't check the inflows as well. So to be fair, we are just checking the counts now. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen here. But if we check, for example, here, I mean, you see that the open interest is really, really, really low at the moment. I mean, look that. Let me check. Open interest has the same. It's interesting. The open interest reached a level of August 19th or July 26th. So, and that was always when we had a hard dump. So they liquidated a lot of positions. While the funding rate, at least here, it's indicating, yeah, it declined, but look, I mean, it's extremely high. I mean, look there. That's crazy. People demanding more longs, and that could be a big trap, in my opinion. Something we need to be very careful with that and see what's going to happen. Blockchain whispers. Let us refresh the site just for a moment. Okay, it looks a little bit better, but 1.4 billion versus 850 millions. We still have a long short ratio of 63 to 37. That's not great. That's not bullish. That's really not bullish. In my opinion, that's not bullish. On Ethereum looks much better, in my opinion, much better. But this, they will try to bring and to initiate some shakeouts just to reduce the longs in case we are going more to the upside. If not, I don't think that Binance and the other, because I think that even other exchanges have a similar long short ratio. In such case, they will don't take these longs with them to let them take profit. I don't think so. Because at the moment, just to show you why I'm saying such kind of things, that's the activity related to centralized exchanges. That's spot, so just buy, sell tokens, and that's derivative, means options, futures, whatever. So both have the same trend, and it's down. I mean, on spot, it looks extremely bearish. So what does that mean? Well, I mean, exchanges, usually their main business is to make money with fees. With you. Every time when you're placing a long, a short, every time when you're buying tokens, they generate fees. That's their main income. But as you see, the market is really in a crypto winter. Means they are generating less money via fees. So how to make money then? Well, liquidate futures. That's the best way. I mean, if I would be owner of a centralized exchange and my situation is looking that worse, I mean, just to pay all my bills, I would do exactly the same. It's not cool. It's not fair. I know. But what is the alternative? I really don't know. I really don't know. So in my opinion, that's the main driver right now, why these guys are bringing some volatility, why we are seeing this kind, oh no, of shakeouts and so on and so forth. Let me check. Hopefully it works. Yes, baby. So let us see if that works. Otherwise, we will skip the Kingfisher today. Oh, what happened? It didn't count. Hey, did you add my credits? Yeah, it did. Ah, it seems FTX works. So we will try. Yes. Okay, that's something I don't get. I don't get. What does that mean? Really, does that mean that no one is placing any shots? I mean, yeah, we can see here some shots, but take a look to the volume. We are talking about 800,000 on FTX. I mean, just a few days ago we had here even 50 millions. What happened? I think something is wrong with Kingfisher. Let us check Binance. Yeah, now it works. That's great. Wow. Even here something changed. And the volume declined. So, yeah, I mean, wow, low leverage shorts. A lot of them here. Otherwise, mid leverage here and low leverage here. On the long side, the biggest part is low leverage as well. So what should I say? I mean, based on the Kingfisher, I would say, well, the market has to go in that direction. But that doesn't match with the Binance long-short ratio and open interest. It really doesn't. And I don't know why the Kingfisher shows such kind of gaps. If it's, you know, just if they are analyzing just the last 24 hours or the last hour or whatever, then it would make sense. But that here doesn't make sense. Even FTX, that looks like nobody is placing any kind of derivatives on their platform. Something I really can't imagine. So that's it. Let us go forward. So let us see what's happening here and try to figure out who is driving the markets right now. We know that FTX, and that's what they are doing, is something we know. Usually they push up the price and they distribute even more afterwards. So does that mean we will nuke from here? No. We need to see, because they are still in a process, as you can see, and we need to wait and to get verified if these guys are really going to distribute afterwards, because they accumulated now related to CBD almost 1,500 bitcoins. It's not big at all. Binance, or that's the aggregated CBD spot, but we will see that's mainly Binance. We have here the 5 minute. Let us go to the 30 minutes. And we see who is driving the market, right? I mean, that's Binance. Look at that. Look at that. Something it's not surprising me because I think they are still providing the zero fees for your trades on Binance. So the big liquidity is at the moment really much more concentrated on Binance. So the price action correlates very well to what they are doing here. Even here, for example, it looks pretty well. Also, something that's really interesting, and you remember a few weeks ago we didn't have that, is that Bitcoin margin contracts are correlating very well to the current price range. Usually they use the Bitcoin margin contracts to hedge, and it was declining while the aggregated spot was lifting up. Something that's not happening anymore. So it seems that their hedging operation is done. Is that bullish? I don't think so. So let us go forward and check what Bitfinex is doing. Wow, Bitfinex. I mean, not big at all. In volume, at least, it's not big at all. And doing exactly the same like FTX at the moment. They distributed a lot, and now since here, I mean, we are just talking about few hundreds, at least based on CBD, indicating they are buying at the moment. So we need to be very careful. Very careful. I really don't know. I'm still expecting we will go up. But because even the inflows are not that big, you know, the only thing that we can say is media is bringing a lot of bad news related to crypto. Wow, that's something where we can say, that's something usual. But at the moment, just too much. So something is going to happen, but even then, it doesn't mean we are going to crash. We know what whales do. Even in such cases, they push up the price before and then they let it nuke, right? So yeah, it's possible that we go up to 22k, even 24 or 25, 26, and then crazy dump. The most important thing here, just to figure out short term something for price action, is not media titles and headlines. I'm just showing you the whole sentiment at the moment of the media, but it's metrics, inflow activity, of course, aggregated funding rate with open interest and so on and so forth, options. But at the moment, everything looks like as usual. So yeah, we had some bigger activity detected related to metrics, inflow activity, and so on and so forth. Doesn't mean that we are going directly to the downside. Just mean we should be very careful with volatility and trade carefully. Pay attention. That's the only thing. So yeah, as you see, we will see what's going to happen next. In my opinion, we should go and retest that area of 19,800, and then we will see what's going to happen next. At the moment, we know that thanks to Coinbase, thank you very much, because these guys are so bullish. Yes, sir. Look that. I mean, wow. Wow. I mean, since here, 6,000 Bitcoin. I mean, it's not that huge, but let us take a look to the entities. So these guys are retailers reducing a little bit their balances. Shrimps doing exactly the same. These guys here, lifted up their balances. It seems they bought some. These guys here not doing anything. Market makers reducing balances as forecasted. I have mentioned, just because they are rising their balances doesn't mean they started to accumulate. That's something they do. They love to do. They use Bitcoin collateral futures to generate even more Bitcoins to dump afterwards. That's crazy. I don't know. I'm still, it's for me a big secret why they are doing that. I really don't know. It looks like they just want to distribute and make money at the moment. That's crazy. I really don't know why. And this guy is lifting up. It also here it correlates very well with the market maker. Well, I labeled then market maker entity. So this guy is here. When this guy is lifted up and their balances, they declined here. Now they are declining here, and this one are lifting up. We know that these entities, almost 80% of them are linked to exchanges. Bitfinex, Binance, Coinbase, and so on and so forth. So also here, potentially indicating us they are preparing the next big fuckery. So to the downside, shake out a little bit up, then more down, and so on and so forth to liquidate as much as they can. Yeah, and that matches very well to the funding flow of the market makers and even the other entities. But the market maker here, perfect. I mean, 4,000 bitcoins here, 3,655 bitcoins here, 2,000 bitcoins here. Spot, derivative. So it seems, in my opinion, just because of the timing, if we check that, they just pushed the price up and they longed. The question is, are they shorting right now? It's possible. I really don't know. I can't see that. Unfortunately, I can't see that. So let us go forward. Coinbase, the big buyer, is now since few days limiting the way up at 23k, while they are still waiting here at 19.5. In my opinion, the ultimative signal that we are going down is when they start to remove some volume from here. Maybe I'm wrong, but if I detect such kind, I would go all in short, because in my opinion that would be something like, okay, they want to go down afterwards. However, let us go forward. Deribit, nothing, just here waiting at 21,200. Bitget, not even that, really absolutely nothing. We have to reduce here just a little bit. Well, a little bit. I mean, we are talking about 17 Bitcoin right now. They removed different limitations here. The next one would be at 22,800. Otherwise, at 19. Binance Spot only waiting at 25k. They remove this wall, at least the volume. We have another one here, but it's not big one. Otherwise, they are limiting the way down at 19.5, at 19, at 18.5, at 18, and even here at 17.8. So the big question as usual is, what the hell are they planning? Are they planning to trigger their buy orders? Or what the hell are they doing? Something I really don't know. I mean, we know that we are receiving some bearish strategies indicating a potential down, push to the downside at 18k, for example, even lower. But that's it. Bitfinex. Wow. I mean, still waiting here 22k and are still at 18k. So just based on Bitfinex spot, I would say it's obvious. We are going down, directly down to 18.2. We are going to retest our current bottom and then go up afterwards. But we can go up to 22k first. So we need to see. FTX perp. Okay, waiting at 19. They removed the wall at 18.7. And I mean, the only thing we have here is at 20,800. That's not big at all. That's it. Kraken spot Kraken spot waiting at 19.5 and 19. Nothing to the upside. BitMEX. BitMEX only waiting at 23,600, 700. That's it. Nothing big. Binance Futures. Binance Futures limiting at 20,700, another 20,900, and at the moment it's indicating, hey, buddy, you can push. That's fine, but that's the maximum. I don't let you at the moment below of 20,000. Bitfinex derivatives, nothing. Kraken futures, nothing. And last but not least, FTX spot. And nothing. That's it. So also here just limiting the way down to 99, and well, I mean that's a lot of spoofing here also in my opinion. I'm not sure, but we need to see. That's it. Let us go forward to my personal conclusion.